Good Sunday evening. We are live. We are live from the Quad Cities, Bakersfield, California, and Omaha, Nebraska. How's that
Doing
going, guys?
a
so,
lot of snow here, Dean.
yeah, I bet. I bet you guys are buried from what I've seen in pictures and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. If you haven't already, right now, just go ahead and smash that subscribe button. We picked up a couple of new subscribers from the last show. That's great. Just keep pouring on that. Like the smash button, like it, comment, share it. And honestly, since we're going to be talking about the Nebraska game, share it again with Nebraska because I just kind of want to rub it in their faces for all the talk that they did before the game but that was some of the pregame stuff was some of the funniest stuff I'd seen in a long time. It reminded me of some of the Minnesota stuff before Nebraska became our arch rival. All right, guys. First of all, I just thought I wanted to touch on the women's game today. The women, I had mentioned on Facebook and I said in our group chat that I thought Fairfield would be our toughest competition for the women to date, and I saw nothing in the game today that made me change my mind. I think they're tougher than Baylor. I think they were tougher than Miami, even though and the women somehow persevered after that horrendous start that they had to go down by 11 points early in the first quarter. But they persevered. They came back. They won the game 86-72. They pretty much, once they got it to anywhere from 10 to 13, 14 points, they did get it up to 16, but they pretty much kept it in that 10 to 13, 14, 15 point range most of the fourth quarter. But some things that we can be proud of today is Kylie Fierbach showed us what she's capable of, because there's a lot of people who wanted her off the team or not playing at all. And I think she showed you why she can be valuable. So I'll get to her stats here in a minute. But I'm going to admit that I listened to the first half on the radio. I was in and out of the car coming home from church and did watch the entire third quarter. But some of the things I picked up while listening is I thought our field goal shooting and our 3-point shooting, listening to the radio, I thought was really bad. Okay. I'm looking at the final stats. Iowa shot 47.6% from the 3-point line. So it wasn't near as bad as I thought it was. Because that's actually pretty decent when you can shoot over 40%.
You do understand there's 4 quarters in the game, right, Dean?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll tell you why I 100% disagree with your Fairfield take in a minute after you're going.
Okay, cool.
The first quarter was terrible. The shooting percentage was terrible, but there's 3 more quarters after that.
Yeah.
We actually shot threes better in the first half, 63%, than we did in the third quarter. We couldn't hit a 3-pointer.
Well, now I'm not talking threes.
One out of 6 or something like that.
Yeah, it's not about the threes though. We just kept missing layups. This game wasn't even close if we don't miss all those layups in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Like it's never even a close game ever if we don't miss those layups.
All right, I'll finish here a little quick.
Okay. We'll shut up for a minute.
Okay. So Fairfield was right on their mark, 46% from 3-point shooting, which I believe is about their normal. However, I mean, the announcer said today that we really buckled down on defending the 3-point shot. Obviously, we didn't today. But 18 of 39. Dude, we gave up 18 3-pointers and still won this game. Man, and it just seemed like we'd be in their face. I mean, maybe we're giving a little bit too much space because our girls weren't getting the 3-pointers off with them in their face, with the girls in their faces. But when we were in theirs, they seemed to get them off. But 18, and they set a record for a team that likes to shoot 3-pointers. They set a record today. Another amazing stat is we shot 18 of 26 from the free throw line. That's only 69%. We've got to do better because in a game that's going to come down to the last seconds, we got to do better because watching some of the girls go up there and clang their first shot and then get their second or vice versa, it was just crazy because you could hear it on the radio. Clang. But here's a discrepancy here. I thought we were fouling these girls all over the place from Fairfield, but they only were 2 for 5. We only sent them to the free throw line 5 times.
You know why?
Why?
Because all they did was shoot threes.
Oh.
They didn't go down low to get fouled.
Yeah, and that's another crazy thing too. Is their tallest girl out there was 6 foot. We have a 6'4", 6'2", and a 6'5" girl on the team. How come in the paint we weren't dominating the paint better than we did?
No, we did dominate.
We doubled their amount of rebounds, and most of our scoring was inside. You know,
yeah, we
Hannah scored like 13 points and she only played 20 minutes.
Okay.
You know, Ava Hayden had 18 points and Journey Houston had 7 all inside, you know.
Yeah. Okay, well, let me put it this way to you. We scored 86 points. I have it right here. Points in the paint, we scored 30. 56 points from everywhere else on the floor. So, honestly, I just thought we could have done a little more domination. I just really thought.
Yeah, that's wrong. I'm going to tell you that's wrong because how many points did Ava Hayden have?
18.
How many points did
Stokey had 13.
And Stokey
Houston had 7.
Yeah, and every one of those points were in the paint. Not one of them.
Stremolo scored in a point in the paint.
Yeah, so those numbers aren't accurate, Dean. Just to let you know. Iowa literally dominated inside this game. That's where I'm disagreeing you with as far as Fairfield was easy. If they didn't miss those layups in the first quarter, this game would have never been close. It would have got close with those 3-pointers where when they got hot and they hit like 6 threes in a row, that would have kept it a game. But the whole game, Iowa dominated inside, with the exception of the missed layups.
And I can remember Addie Deal and Fearback making layups. Yeah, Addie Deal made a steal and had a breakaway layup. That's in the paint. Last time I went to school, you know. I know she made some inside layup. At least
I guess we're gonna have to figure out what they mean by paint then, because you're right. Just between Stokey and Hayden alone, they scored 31 points total between the two of them. And 90% of their shots come in the paint.
Yeah.
So, and Fearbach had a great day. Addie Deal, 18 minutes, 9 points. Houston, making a name for herself, 20 minutes, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and 7 points. The girl, Callie Levine, had 1 minute of playing time, but did nothing with it, unfortunately. My girl, she's going to have to get out there and use that time wisely. Get yourself some more minutes.
They put her in because I couldn't believe Coach Jensen. We had 4 girls on the court with 2 fouls. Mm-hmm. Well, she took Stokey out. That's why Stokey only played 20 minutes. But she left Hayden, Fearbach, and another player in with 2 fouls. And then Fearbach got her 3rd foul with a minute to go in the half. I thought, why are you even out there? And that's when they put Callie in, because Fearbach had to go to the bench. But
yeah, McCabe had 37 minutes, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Layla Hayes, only 7 minutes today and only 2 rebounds and no points. Guys, I didn't get to watch the whole game, obviously, but why didn't Hayes get scores, and why didn't she play much? Was she in a lot of foul trouble or something?
No, she's too slow. She could not guard anybody on that team.
The other team didn't have anybody over 6 foot tall, Dean. So hard to.
Yeah, I know it.
It was hard for Hannah to get out there and cover them corner threes. You know.
Yeah. So what's funny is
Houston played. That's why Houston played so much, is because she was quick enough to at least guard people on the perimeter. They legit had all 5 players out on the perimeter.
Now, did you guys really think that Houston was that fast? Because
I don't think Houston's fast, but she's a smart player. When her and Deal and Stremlo were out there, they were out there together, and oh my God, did that slow the game down? They don't run the court very fast.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You had sent a thing in the group text about that being slow. That's why with Houston in the lineup.
But Houston's faster than Hayes, which is the point.
Okay.
You still had Hayes in there with another center, Hayden.
Mm-hmm.
But you could have Hayes out there all by herself. So they had Hayden and Houston, and they had Hayden because Hannah was in foul trouble. So they had to have somebody out there. But they couldn't put Hayes out there. She was just too slow.
Yeah. And Deal, I'm glad to see the last couple games Deal's getting some minutes, and she's actually starting to assert herself more. I mean, she's not holding back, so
yep, she's figuring it out. Yep.
Yeah, Strimlow with 31 minutes, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, and 9 points. I would say for a point guard, that girl was working hard. Ava Hayden was 16 boards and 4 assists.
Do you know how many turnovers Strimlow had by chance?
I don't have that here. They don't give me the whole ball of black.
Okay, I was just curious on that.
We had too many turnovers. We had too many turnovers. I think it was 17 or something, which is about what we're averaging. I didn't know we were averaging that many, but it hurts not having Chit Chat.
Yep, it's gone up since Chit Chat got hurt. Yeah.
Turnovers, 15 turnovers, and they had 13. We had 7 block shots, 21 assists. And of course, we had total rebounds were 43 to 21. Those numbers
you're reading are not the end of the game numbers.
I took these right from the
because I knew the rebounding ended up 44 to 26, I believe.
So this is what I took from the official website. I always go to the official
website. And then the both turnovers numbers you read, both teams had more turnovers than that. The other team actually ended up with one more turnover than we had, which surprised me.
All right. Anyway. Okay. All right. But anyway, I kind of wanted to touch on that. I believe their next game is against Rutgers. I don't know how that game will go because I don't know much about Rutgers right now. If we can beat them or it's at Rutgers, so
they can beat anybody in the country.
Iowa,
Rutgers fan?
Yeah. No, Iowa. Rutgers can.
But I think we got a whole week off. The game ain't till Saturday, is it?
I can look real quick.
Rutgers. Yeah. I think we play on Saturday and then we go play Iowa State after that on like a Tuesday or
you are right, but I thought Iowa State was on a weekend as well. So
I listened to Kasheen Alexander today after the game, and she said I sure hope that they let Chit Chat, who isn't cleared yet. She says I don't want her to go play Rutgers. Rutgers is a very physical, rough team, and I want to make sure that she is completely over whatever protocol she's in, whether it's back, neck, shoulder, or concussion, whatever it is. And I agree with Kasheen.
They said concussion protocol on the radio today.
Yeah, okay. So I don't want her to play. They don't need her to beat Rutgers, but they do. You're right. They play Rutgers Saturday, and then they play Iowa State on Wednesday, the following Wednesday.
So hopefully that's enough time for her to
we're going to need
whatever she needs to get done to to heal up and get on the floor.
Yeah, we're going to definitely need her against Iowa State.
Yeah, Emily Rodriguez is a back issue. I understand. That could be tricky. It depends.
She's actually going to see She's going to see another doctor in a day or so. Jan said in the post game.
So that means that she's pretty much probably done for the season.
I can't imagine. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't think we should jump to that conclusion, but And then she said Tegan Mulaney might start practicing tomorrow. She's finally getting
Can
her
you guys
strength.
see that?
Yeah,
That's what
97%. 97% win.
Over
Wow,
Rutgers.
boy, Rutgers has dropped way down with that.
Well, they don't. I mean, they don't have the same coaches. They've been going through some changes, so it's not like it's the same team when Vivica was there.
Yeah,
they've been.
And so, guys, I did not know. With Tegan Mulaney, I mean, I was told by a certain someone that it was an abscess, probably a tooth situation, but turns out she had a tonsil surgery last week.
Yep.
I would think that she would be ready sooner than later than under those circumstances, don't you think?
Jan says she's weak yet. That's what she said in the news conference after the game. Said she's weak yet. Might start practicing a little bit tomorrow. See how she's feeling. So
yeah, and for the record, Chad is practicing a little bit. Yeah. So maybe they just want to get her back in game shape and stuff.
They said they were testing her in practice to see if she did something, what was the effect on her. You know, so must have been quite the concussion. So
it's a different world, man. I mean, my grandpa got his tonsils taken out and he was back to work on the farm. So I don't. It's a different world, today's world.
Yeah, I get it.
My dad almost died when he got his tonsils taken out. Of course, it was in the 1940s or something. He was born in 1919. And the bad thing about it, if you're a man, your tonsils, because of testosterone, are glands, and they get big as you get older, and the blood vessels get big. My dad about bled to death.
Oh, dang.
And I remember Ralph Sampson when he was at Virginia. He had a teammate on the Virginia basketball team, got his tonsils out, and he died because of bleeding to death. Usually
the older you get, the more dangerous it is. And by the way, I still have my tonsils, so hopefully I can finish my life without taking them.
I still have mine too.
But you guys you're about 20 years behind me.
me too, but I'm considering demanding them taken out just to take weight off.
Okay.
That'll
get you less than a pound. That'll be about a pound or less.
Since I've been laid up, I'm getting a little heavy in the jowl. So, don't you think, boys?
I can kind of see on here. I'm getting thinner. I can start to see it, but these people didn't tune in to watch us talk about that.
Well, I don't know. Some of them might like to laugh once in a while.
Yeah. Okay. Alrighty, so let's move on from the women's game because I think we pretty much beat it to death. Let's talk quickly and briefly. I know that this is going to be hard for Jason real quick, but just about the defeat of Iowa State defeating Iowa today in wrestling. After 20 straight seasons of wins there, I'm a little disappointed that we couldn't pull this one out. Now, I had predicted that we were going to win 5. We would probably win 5, and they would probably win 5, but I was hoping the bonus points would get us wins.
See, Dean, sometimes they just want to they want to laugh too.
Yeah, I think that he goes, Mike says, I think I still have mine, though. That was the one time in that sketchy alley. Okay.
Well. Thanks for reading the comments. Thanks for reading the comments. I didn't know what Jason was laughing about. It was like,
I always forget that. I forget that you can't see it.
Yeah, that used to be Jason too.
On his little phone, and my eyesight's so bad from the treatment. It's like shit, you know.
Yeah, I used to be like that too.
Yeah,
Dean would always have to read them to me.
Jason's got this full setup, and he's got TV screens and TV monitors behind him. Looks like he's in a full-bred studio there.
I got my Broncos game on behind me.
How are the Broncos doing right now?
They're just about to kick off.
They haven't kicked
off yet.
Okay. So, moving on to the wrestling.
Can I just say this about wrestling? This will be the only thing I say. The only thing I know is all the Iowa fans want what's his name gone now.
Brands. Yeah, I hear it. I hear that too.
Yeah, his name is Brands.
Yeah. I'm not saying that he should go. I just don't know if he should go or not. Okay, let's put it that way. I don't know. However, we lost to 2013 to Iowa State. We had a couple of guys get upset, but we did upset one of them. So, like I said, I had predicted that we would win 5 and they would win 5, and I was kind of hoping our guys like Drake Ayala and Patrick Kennedy would whoop ass and get some bonus points to put us over the top. But as it turned out, we only won 4, they won 6. And so that was basically the difference in the game. I think in the match, I think if we could have gone 5 and 5, it might have been a different story. You know
what I thought was interesting?
What's that?
The stands were packed in Ames, and for the Iowa women's game, the fans were pretty sparse. That shows you how fanatical wrestling fans are. They don't care. They don't care if they got to take a dog sled to a meet. The stands are going to be full for an Iowa wrestling meet. So.
All right. Mike says, contrary to the Iowa and Nebraska, you can't actually win every year. Oh, it's going to be fun when we get to the Nebraska stuff. This is going to be.
I remember 2 or 3 years ago we didn't win. So,
Iowa wrestling. Oh, you mean the Nebraska?
Nebraska game. They had the interim coach, and Cooper got a concussion, and Peters hurt his shoulder, and there we went.
The moment Coop went out, the game was over because we couldn't cover their NFL wide receiver.
Yeah. Well, that's neither here nor there. We won 10 out of the last 11.
But if you think about it, there's that game they won, and then go back to 2014 when they won. They needed 2 punt returns and everything else to come back from behind to win in the fourth quarter. So Iowa is pretty much just dominated for the most part, except for a couple lucky games Nebraska has gotten. Otherwise, this thing would be, what would that be? 11 and 12 in a row or something like that?
Yeah, we better get rid of Kurt.
Yeah. And if you
not very successful.
Yeah. And we all said this would be a close game. Both Jason and I thought it'd be low scoring close game.
Yes.
But we did talk about how there's only been 2 blowouts in the history since they joined the Big Ten. Now the blowouts occurred the other way before the Big Ten days. Yeah. But Iowa had 2 blowouts.
Yeah, before the weather come into the concern, like on another site, I predicted Iowa was going to win like 33-15, and then when we did our show, I said I want to know what the weather's going to be like, and we were only like 3 days from the weather hitting. Was a Tuesday, and then the game was on Friday, and I'd heard it was going to be icy, so I cut down my score. I think I had it 23-15 or something like that.
Yeah. Jason and I did a pregame show that morning before the game. I asked him about the weather, and I said, "Is it going to snow?" He said, "No, the snow was due in another day
later.
Or 2." Yeah. I thought you said like Saturday or something, but
no.
It started snowing in the second half of the game.
I said after the game. I was told it wasn't going to snow until after the game.
Okay.
I knew it was going to snow because we were supposed to get drenched before our Friendsgiving on Saturday. I was like, no one's going to be able to make it up the hill to get to our house, but everybody did. Everybody came in their 4x4s, but that's what I was afraid of. So I knew it was going to snow a lot before.
The weathermen were pretty good a week ahead of time telling us what the weather was going to be Friday and here on Saturday. The only thing they missed out on was the wind. The wind never got as, like today here, the wind was supposed to be 35, 40 miles an hour, and we didn't hardly have any wind here, but anyway.
Well, anyway, Mike says, as soon as the Iowa got that safety, I knew that was the dagger. Yeah.
Wait a
the sad
minute.
part about that was is we had a guy, and I thought he was going to throw himself on top of the ball for the touchdown on that one. And
Nwampa act like he didn't want to get on the ground. He just stood up there beside it, beside
and
the
somehow
ball, watching everybody else fight for it. I thought, Nwampa, get in there, get it.
Yeah, and someone from Nebraska came in there and just kind of dived under our guy, and it's just like, dude, did you just think you automatically had it? Did you not realize a Nebraska dude? But anyway, I was just as happy with the safety because we got to kick the ball off and got it real short.
I hate to be controlling, but are you still talking about wrestling?
Oh shoot.
We did get sidetracked. Well, let's just say this about that.
Any of the individual wrestlers you want to talk about?
Yeah.
I blame Mike.
Yeah. The only thing I want is anybody listening. What do you think? Is it time for Brents to move on? Are you on the bandwagon that no, he's doing fine? Other schools are just getting better, and so that's the case. Is all those guys out there that used to play wrestle for Iowa or coach at Iowa are now coaching their own winners, except for the guy at Iowa State. He was never an Iowa guy. Anyway, okay.
The only ex-Iowa guy that is a head coach someplace that I really love is Tom Ryan, the coach at Ohio State.
Yeah, he coaches Ohio State.
Guy, who's now ranked number 2. This like a week ago.
I think Ohio State's ranked number 2. I saw one poll where Iowa was ranked number 4, and another poll where they're ranked number 3. Apparently, they came in ranked number 3, and whatever poll the ESPN's using. So anyway, that's just my main concern is this, are these guys living up to expectations? Because our notable guys got pounded by Ohio State, and when was the last time we lost a dual meet to Ohio State? Because I bet it was even longer ago than when we lost to Iowa State. Because we went 20 years without losing to Iowa State. I bet we've gone longer without losing to Ohio State.
Ohio State beat us in a duel just 5 years ago, when Ohio State actually, I think, they won the Big Ten championship that year, and I don't know if they might have even won the national championship that year, but that was like 5 years ago or something. So.
Okay. Well, let's put the wrestling to bed. Let's put the wrestling to bed. I didn't want to spend a ton of time on it, but I did want to touch on it because us diehard wrestling fans of Iowa are probably upset today. This would be like Nebraska if they'd beat us this year after a while, and Minnesota beating us this year after a while, and you know what I mean.
It put a sour taste in my mouth today, Dean, because I love watching wrestling. I was watching both of them at the same time, and I knew it was going to be a tight match just by looking at the matchups. But yeah, I'm not real happy with the effort of some of them. So
yeah, I did try to put it on multi-view, but that option for both the women's game and the wrestling meet. Multi-view was not an option.
No.
Okay. On to the news before we get to Nebraska. I know you had some news to share, and so let's share it.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm going to throw a topic out there after I do the news. I don't know if any of you guys want to talk about the coaching carousel and all that stuff that happened today, but I'll skip over that. And you guys consider it while I'm talking.
We can talk about that. I don't care.
We definitely can talk about it. Yeah.
Let me I'll get the news out of the way. I was going to put some of that in the news, but I ain't going to do it if I don't have to, because I don't like taking up too much time. One thing I find interesting is the future Black Friday. I guess there's no guarantee that we're going to play Nebraska on Black Friday again.
Nope.
Why is that?
Because they're kind of throwing it open. I don't know if Nebraska don't like it. I don't know.
Aren't we playing Nebraska in the middle of the season next year?
No, they haven't determined the dates for that yet. The 26th schedule is out, but only the 3 non-con games have dates. attached to them. The other
Yeah,
ones
we
are
know.
just showing you which Big Ten games we're playing. So,
okay.
so don't let that part scare you, because that part probably won't be out until spring sometime.
Well, I just was told that we might end up playing like Wisconsin on Black Friday instead by somebody who's usually right, but we'll find out, I guess.
I know we're playing Michigan, Ohio State, and going to Washington next year.
Yeah.
Those are our
I heard
toughest.
they're going to flip-flop Wisconsin and Nebraska for Iowa, but as far as Black Friday games.
Yeah, I'm not talking about Black Friday. I'm just talking about our Big Ten schedule next year. It looked like, going to Michigan and Ohio State at home, thank God, finally. And then going to Washington looked like the real tough goes, because Washington has one hell of a home field advantage. Was that loud yesterday for Washington?
Wait a minute. I thought, or maybe that's in 27, but I thought we had UCLA and USC paying us a visit.
No, I don't think so. I don't know. We'll have another Western team on our schedule. I think we usually have 2 every year, but
here, I do have the 27 here.
I just picked those 3 as the really tough Big Ten teams we had to play, because Michigan is a very young team. They're playing like 13 freshmen. They're going to be good next year.
Yeah.
Ohio State's always the best team in the country almost. And going to Washington's going to be tough. They have a young team too. But
yeah,
anyway.
We get Michigan, UCLA, USC at home in 27, and on the road to Oregon, Wisconsin, and Nebraska in 27. So I would say that's probably
we're talking about 26.
Yeah, I know. And on the road to Indiana. ISU at home, Nebraska at home, at Illinois, Ohio State, Purdue, Wisconsin, at Michigan, at Minnesota, at Northwestern, at Washington. So there you go. We only have one West Coast team next year.
Yeah, but it's on the road.
It's on the road.
Okay. Where was it? Okay. I thought it was interesting looking at some of the stuff. The final Big Ten standings came out. Of course, Indiana and Ohio State tied for first. Oregon's third. USC and Michigan tied for fourth. Iowa got 6 by itself. A 3-way tie for 7th, Washington, Illinois, and Minnesota. And down in 10th, that team that was supposed to be so good this year, Nebraska. They tied Northwestern for 10th and 11th. In 12th, boy, who would have thought this? Penn State tied with UCLA. So UCLA beat them head to head. And then 14th, Rutgers and Wisconsin. 16th, Michigan State and Maryland. And of course, 18th, Purdue never won a game in the Big Ten. But I thought it was very interesting that Iowa this is only in conference play. Iowa was number 5 in the conference in offensive scoring. Who would ever thought that 3 years ago? We're 3rd in defensive scoring. I thought that was pretty cool. I was moved up to 59th in scoring in the country. I think last year we were like 70 something. And of course we were great in punt returns this year. Punting was down. The defense and offense were both better this year in the standings. The things we really improved on was 3rd and 4th down success and red zone scoring. We're all way better. And I say all of them are because of our new quarterback, Gronk. When you score 15 touchdowns by yourself on the ground, and when it's 3rd and 1, just let Gronk run it, So I give him I think he was worth the money. Of course, as always, we're the lowest penalty team in the conference, and I think we're number 1 or 2 in the nation in lowest penalties, and that's a Kirk thing. That's pretty much yearly that we're very low as far as having penalties, or very top of the nation, I should say. And this year we needed our turnover margin to be a little better. That's my takes from the season statistics that were put out today for the nation. And Wednesday is signing day. It's going to be a lot of times signing day is like a one-day deal. Of course, there's 2 signing days in football, one in February, but usually it's a one-day deal. This year, it's going to be an interesting next 10 days because there's a bunch of kids out there who are leaving schools that they thought they were going to sign with because their coaches are gone.
You mean decommitted? Don't confuse that with the transfer portal. They decommitted.
Some of them are still committed, but they're visiting.
Okay,
alrighty. Like the Yonda kid committed to Wisconsin. He's Logan Lee all over again. But I'm thinking he's going to sign with Iowa. And
that'd be interesting to see how many guys flip it on the last day.
The Hester kid, who is such a great defensive back in Florida. I still think he wants to stay with Florida, but he's either going to Florida or he's going to sign a letter of intent to Iowa. Of course, he might not sign till February, but if I was a kid, I'd sign now. I wouldn't wait till the portal opens up. Then you may get shut out in the cold. The other guy is a safety who's committed to Michigan State, who's very, very good. And I would not be surprised if he signs with Iowa. But it's going to be an interesting 10 days. We got scholarships open. So,
okay, well, anybody with Michigan State will probably get re-recruited once they officially name their new coach. Yeah. The coach will get on the phone and call them all.
Yeah, already guys are posting all over the country where their coaches just left, that they're in the transfer portal already. Mm-hmm. It's like today, of course, everybody knows Jackson Stratton, who's a walk-on, not on scholarship. He entered the portal because he's a graduate. He don't have to wait till the portal opens.
Yeah, you sent that to me earlier today.
It's amazing that he's graduating already.
He graduated, yeah. He's graduating, yes.
Of course, other people think that, with Fitzgerald getting the job at Michigan State, that little Fitz will go up and play for his dad at Michigan State.
Okay, can we just, because he's not officially been named, that's a heavy
Yes, rumor. He has. I believe he
official? Jason, has he been officially named?
No.
I didn't think
not
so.
Official.
Okay, I mean, I'm posting it that he's hired.
I haven't seen any official. But
I'm sure they haven't had an official. I'm sure they haven't had an official news conference. Hell, they ain't had one for Kiffin yet.
No. I'm talking about. I haven't seen an official post or nothing from somebody.
Yeah, nobody in the media is posting it yet.
Yeah,
on three is, but anyway. And then of course Jason says Brown's leaving. That'd be 2 walk-on quarterbacks and a quarterback. Was there anything else? The one that I thought was the bet other than Iowa beating Nebraska yesterday. I thought the biggest news and the greatest news of the whole damn week was little Grayson Graves being born on Thanksgiving. The tape I put up of Aaron Graves' news conference yesterday after the game, he broke down and he couldn't talk. The video didn't show it all, but I watched it live. He couldn't talk for 4 minutes. He just bawling. And when he got done bawling, he says, "I love him so much." I think Kirk ought to offer him right now.
Yeah.
Grayson Graves. And Kirk can tell him to reclassify so he can come out of high school when he's a junior like Aaron could have. And that way Kirk can coach him when he's 87.
God.
What do you think, Jason?
Coaching at 87, that would be crazy.
What do you think?
If Kirk's still coaching at 87.
Kirk will probably still be outrunning all 3 of us.
Yeah, but I wonder what how
That's
old
why
Joe
he looks
Paul
so
was
young.
when he stopped coaching. He was in his 80s, I think. Joe Paul, I bet he was in his 80s. Yeah.
Paul Bear Bryant might have been about 82. I don't know, but I don't know. Eddie Robinson was a really elderly guy when he quit, but yeah, Kirk ain't going to coach that long.
Yeah.
That's.
Oh, I was going to say this. I wanted to say this.
That was such a cute news about Aaron Graves. Yep, so special. He was supposed to be born around bowl time. I guess the kid wants to make a trip to the bowl game, so he wants to get, old enough that he can travel to the bowl game. That would be my suspicion on the young man.
Okay, so just to kind of be something else cute, because you talked about Fitzgerald will probably leave, Brown will probably leave, and Stratton's already leaving. So I was going to put it this way. So that probably puts Eddie Deal's new boyfriend at backup next year.
I'm not ready to say that he is publicly her boyfriend, but that's what
I know. I just thought that was funny because I never heard that. I just was funny.
I didn't either.
Anyway,
that's why Jimmy Sullivan.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I'd never heard it until yesterday, and I told Dean I don't know if that's true, and I wouldn't be mentioning it publicly. But Dean can never help himself. It's always got to go public with any goddamn thing he hears. Like Kirk. This is his last game at Nebraska. I'm hearing it. So. Oh, you didn't go public with that, did you?
Well, now he did. Now he did.
Yeah, you did. He just outed me. He just outed me. And it wasn't me that said it. I repeated what Chad Lysicle said.
Oh, God, Chad.
All right. Chad. Guys, let's catch up with some of Mike's comments. He's left some good comments.
Well, hold on. I want to finish with what Jimmy's not going anywhere, though, guys.
Yeah, we didn't say he was.
His girlfriend's in Iowa City. Why would he go?
That's not what I'm talking about. Jesus. Yeah. Jimmy's a good quarterback.
Yeah.
Jimmy's a good quarterback for this system. He'll be going against Hecklinski, but Hecklinski's Lester's guy. I still think Hecklinski will be the starter because Lester loves that dude. Like, it must be his moxie. There is something about Hecklinski that Lester loves, but Jimmy will be a backup.
I would think Jimmy would stay if the quarterback room is going to all of a sudden get that small. But
they'll get one in the portal, but we don't know who they'll go after.
Yeah. Okay. That answers one of Mike's comments. Things.
What?
Okay. Let me. He wanted to know if who starts next year, Hecklinski, or do they go back to the portal? So we just said he's going to start, and they're going to go to the portal. So, all right. Can't imagine Minnesota's too thrilled about having the axe the last week of the season. Not having the axe the last week of the season. See, this is just it. It's rivalry week. And if who's Iowa's rival going to be if we take away, if we become Minnesota on Black Friday, or Wisconsin on Black Friday, does that mean Minnesota and Nebraska have to play on each other the last week of the season? Because, we're supposed to be rivalry weekend.
We'll have one of them teams, some team like Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Nebraska. Is there any other rival in the Big Ten? Well, whoever we play is a freaking rival, is the way I feel, but might play Illinois on Black Friday or something. We don't play Illinois enough, but
we haven't.
One thing I forgot was the volleyball season ended on, I don't know if it's Thursday and Friday or Friday and Saturday.
Friday and Saturday.
Iowa beat Ohio State 3-1, and then they got beat by Penn State. And Penn State's a power, but the volleyball team certainly won more games and more sets, this year by a landslide than they had in a long time. So very happy with the volleyball team.
Okay, cool. All right, good. Are they going to the Big Ten? Are they going? Is there a Big Ten tournament for them to go to?
I'm sure they have a Big Ten tournament.
But not everybody qualifies. Like softball, only like 8 teams go to the tournament.
I didn't research that. I just seen they played and so back to our. Did you want to talk about coaching carousel, or are you talking about Nebraska game?
No, we can briefly hit the coaching carousel because I do think it's kind of interesting. But wait a minute, Mike says Sparty's a dumpster fire, and says Joe Paul was forced to stop. Yes, that's what I meant. I had a hard time getting it out. I just want to know how old he was when he stopped coaching. Okay.
Yeah.
All righty. Where do you want to start on this coaching carousel, guys?
I don't know.
Because I don't have the list in front of me. I think somebody sent it to me, but I don't have it directly in front of me on how many new coaches are in the SEC as of today.
I thought Kelvin does. Kelvin brought it up.
I sent it. No, I just said I didn't know if you guys wanted to talk about the coaching carousel.
Oh.
You know, that Smith got fired, you know, and they obviously had Fitzgerald lined up before they even fired Smith. I never think that looks very good, you know, and I don't think Lane Kiffin ever looks good. He's the goofiest son of a gun I ever heard of, you know, wanting to coach his team after he leaves. What the hell's up with that, you know? But anyway.
Well, hang on, I'm looking for what you sent me.
There's a Tulane coach got a new job. The Golich got a new job. Was it Auburn? Golich? Mississippi hired Mississippi hired the defensive coordinator as their new coach.
He went to Arkansas. The Goalish.
Where'd Sumball or Gumball, whatever his name was? He Auburn? Or is he Florida?
I don't know. There's so many. I'm going off memory now. I read them all, and I know who you're talking about. But
okay, here we go. All right.
Kiffin at LSU.
Yeah. We got Alex Goul. How you say it? Goalish?
Goalish.
Yeah, that's how I say it.
Okay. Where did he come from? He was going to Auburn.
South Florida.
Okay, we got Ryan Silverfield or Severfield,
Wait,
however
Goalish
they want to say.
I thought Goalish was going to Arkansas.
No, it says Auburn right here. Ryan Silverfield is at Arkansas, unless somebody messed this up.
Is Silverfield the Memphis coach?
Yeah, I don't know where he came from. Yeah, he's got a blue M on his coat, so he's probably Memphis.
Memphis.
Yeah, John Summerfield's going to Florida. I don't know where he came from.
Summerfeld.
Oh, you're right. I was wrong. Yep.
Summerfeld, is he Tulane?
That's Tulane. Okay.
Yeah.
LSU got Lane Kiffin, and I guess I'm still. Why would you leave a team that you're taking to the playoffs? I'm really confused why you would leave.
Well, I wouldn't.
I told you.
I can understand him leaving.
$12 million a year and all the NIL money he can handle. So
yeah, and look at this. He's leaving the team. He don't even get to coach them. I mean, you know, it's like hell. You worked your tail off to get your team in a position to be in the playoffs, and now you're not even going to be able to coach them because you got greedy and jumped the ship too fast.
Yeah,
I would not like this guy around for me. No, I would not ever hire him.
He's been a goofball every place he's been.
What's that?
He's been a goofball every place he's been. Saban wouldn't let him be the offensive coordinator for the national championship game at Alabama because he was talking to Florida A&M, where the hell ever he went.
Okay, so how many of his coaches are actually leaving with him? Because
Nobody knows.
Everybody said that he threatened them to come with him to LSU. And,
he said either get on the plane or he ain't coming with me. He ain't going to have a job at LSU.
Yeah, but anyway, they promoted an assistant coach at Ole Miss to the Ole Miss job. So I would guess that some of those guys are going to stay with the new coach because he's probably not going to get rid of everybody since it works.
Well, Ole Miss just made their defensive coordinator their official head coach.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What I said.
So
that's what we said.
Ole Miss isn't even going to go searching. They already got their guy.
Yeah. Well, they knew this was coming, so they were prepared. Okay, Mike says, I don't know if the NCAA has a Rooney Rule, but if they did, MSU would definitely violate it. What's a Rooney Rule?
Rooney Rule says you have to interview different races then colleges don't have that rule. That's an NFL rule.
Rooney, which was the owner. I don't know what Rooney. I'm sure it's the older Rooney that they made it after. Grandpa Rooney. He owned the Pittsburgh Steelers. And
I thought.
It used to be Art. It used to be Art, but this is named after his boy Dan.
Okay.
Art died before the Rooney rule came up.
Okay, but they never had any issues hiring black head coaches, obviously. And that's why they call it the Rooney rule, is he believed in interviewing everyone before he decided on his coach.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anybody hearing anything about Penn State?
Oh, for Penn State coach? I saw something earlier. I would have to go back and look, but nobody, but nothing official. Nothing, no names have been thrown there yet. Penn State must be keeping this close to the vest, but I did hear that Fitzgerald was one of the guys being considered for.
Yeah, I never heard that, but Penn State's doing it right, I think, keeping everything under wraps.
Yeah. Guys, what I like, I've learned to respect and like Fitzgerald. And he's been cleared of his wrongdoings or what he knew about what was going on. So I'm not saying that he's a perfect guy or anything, but I don't want him coaching in the Big Ten anymore because I don't want to have to yell and scream at him anymore.
Well, we won't have to play him for a few years because we played Michigan State like 3 years in a row.
Okay, so Jalen Watson just posted something. I'm going to read it to you guys. To all the undersized kids just trying to chase their dreams, don't ever forget who you are and what you bring to the table. You might not pass the eye test, but they'll never be able to measure your heart. It was a lot of people telling me what I can and can't do based off my size, but I never let the noise be louder than God's voice. He'll never lead you to something that you aren't ready to believe. You only have one chance in this game called life. Keep dreaming big. And he used the Big Ten logo.
Yeah.
I was hoping this wasn't Jalen saying I'm jumping in the portal.
I would have replied to him when he was talking about short people. I says, "Are you talking about your Uncle Freddie?" Because he was only like 5'5", Fred Russell. So.
Mike says Chesney. I'm not sure what that's referring to. Do you guys help me out here?
Kenny Chesney. I don't know.
Okay. Is there a coach named Chesney being considered for Penn State?
Chesney.
I might be saying it wrong. I got it up there on the board.
No, not that I know of.
A lot of people think Penn State is going to hire Joe Brady, the coach at Buffalo or something, but I don't know.
They absolutely love Joe Brady as an offensive coordinator.
Oh, Bob Chesney from James Madison University. Who is actually going to get screwed because they're not going to be able to make the playoffs, but they should be in it because they're a better team than some of the teams that are going to be in there automatically.
If they hire him, though, that doesn't make any sense. He's only done it for 2 years. He took over for Indiana's coach at James Madison. So he hasn't proved anything as a head coach other than he can win with the players that stayed after Indiana's coach left them. It's only been 2 years. I would not hire him as the head coach.
Was he an assistant too?
What?
Was he an assistant to the Indiana coach before he left? Okay. So he probably keeping the same system and stuff going because it worked once and he realizes that it'll work again if he keeps it going.
That's just
he'd have had to teach the system to all his assistants because Signetti kept about his whole staff. But I really think Penn State has a coach. They just can't announce it. And they're doing it in a classy way where they're not, as soon as the season's over, announcing their new coach,
Well, you know what? They're not announcing it because they hired some big name who's still playing ball.
That's possible. It's possible. everybody said Cignetti is definitely staying at Indiana because he signed a new contract. Well, that ain't true either. Cignetti's buyout's like $15 million. That's like nothing to Penn State. So anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, some of this stuff I'm going to hold out on talking about until we do our postseason show next week, because we're starting to touch on some subjects that I wanted to talk about next week. Josh Heupel will be your next Penn State football coach. Okay, Vandy, you're on, buddy. And Vandy says first thing out of his mouth is, "Has Tom Bryant's been fired yet?" You guys saw that 11-second clip that Vandy sent and said the douchebag needs to be fired. All right, guys, let's get on to Nebraska. Before we end up talking about the whole next week's show that we're planning on doing. All right. Okay. So, what
you're
were you
leading
guys...
us down you lead us down each thing you want us to talk about.
Okay. Well, the first thing I want to ask you guys is what were your thoughts when you saw the dude break out for, I don't know how long of a run that was, Johnson, for was it, I don't know how many yards he ran for that touchdown, but all of a sudden there he is running down the sidelines, and I guess they caught him. Oh, wasn't a touchdown. They caught him at the 1 yard line, but but I want to tell you something. Somebody from Nebraska came out and tried to put a video and showed he broke the plane. And it's like, dude, get over it. The game's over. You lost. That wasn't the reason why you lost the game, because you scored the touchdown anyway.
That guy, I doubt that he plays in the bowl game. I bet he ends up going early to the NFL. But to me, I said before the game on our podcast, I said he looks like Akram Wadley on steroids. He's a lot bigger than Akram, but I just think he runs just like him.
Okay, I need to correct myself. He came from Holy Cross.
Who did?
Chesney did.
Okay.
And he's the top candidate for UCLA right now.
Okay.
Wow. Chesney. So he came from Holy Cross, and this is his second year with James Madison. I thought he was on the same staff, but he wasn't.
All righty. Mike's throwing one in here. He heard that Penn State's interviewing Brian Ferentz. And he also said, my first thought on that run was, now you guys didn't really answer me on the run, but he did answer it. He goes, my first thought on that run were 4 words: wake the blank up.
No,
it was just a great play call. It was a great play call to go against the defense we were in. That's how he got outside so easy. So, I mean, it was just the perfect schemed up play against what our defense was on that particular play. Yeah. It was just
what was amazing was our defense was kind of getting pushed around in the first half, but man, they didn't do in the second half. Our defense buckled down and didn't give anything. No points, no yards, no nothing.
I would like to know. I think he had 179 yards at halftime or something. I would like to know how many carries he had in the first half and how many carries he had in the second half, because he only ended up with like 40 more yards or something like that in the second half.
23 or something, I believe.
Total 40-some yards. Yeah. I think it was 43 yards or something. I want to know, did he carry the ball that much in the second half? I understand that Phil I said in our live chatting back and forth, expect Phil to make some adjustments, but I don't know if we shut him down with adjustments or whether they didn't use him as much, because I can't remember.
Well, I think one of the other things that really helped slow them down in the second half was Latif was basically playing with a sore knee and he couldn't run like he normally would. There had been a couple plays I thought he would have made a first down if he could have used his legs better.
They announced today that he tweaked his hamstring is what Latif did.
Okay.
I thought we beat the hell out of him pretty good. I thought it could have been numerous injuries, but Anyway.
Well, I thought they hit Johnson pretty hard a few times myself. I think we were out to hurt these guys.
The reason he didn't have success in the second half mostly is because Iowa's offense was on the field the most. Like they weren't on the field hardly at all in the second half, Nebraska. And Iowa kept scoring, so they had to try to throw the ball.
Yeah.
That's a huge reason why as well. They got down by 2 scores, and Iowa's offense just kept eating the clock. So that's another reason why he did not get the yards in the second half.
Yeah. That was what Iowa did on offense in the second half is just typical Iowa offense.
What was that?
Grind the yards and grind the time, and then score at the end.
How close was the game at halftime? I don't even remember. Was the safety in the first half or second half?
There was exactly 40 points scored because I got a message telling me that the over-under has already been hit. I believe the over-under was like 39. So it was, what was it, 20 to
17 or 14?
23 to 17, something. It was something like that. But like 40 points were already hit at half. And that was the over-under.
I thought, didn't we lead 17-16 at one point going into the second half?
We had more points than that at halftime, I think. Like Jason said.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think so. I think it was 17-16.
It'd be easy to look. You just click on ESPN, and it shows you how many points was scored in each quarter.
Jason's working on it right now.
My brain's so fried from everything I did today that I can't remember, when the safety was. Was it in the third quarter, the second quarter?
Third quarter.
I can't.
It was in the third.
That's kind of when we took over the game.
The score at the half was 24-16.
There you go, 40 points.
Okay. Oh, because we must have scored right before halftime then.
And then the first score of the second half, was it the safety to go up 26-16?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Yeah, put us up by 10.
That was so weird. That guy fumbled on two punts
back
in a row.
Back. Yeah, back to back. The safety was at the 11-minute mark of the third quarter. So, yeah, pretty much.
Cool.
Pretty early in the third quarter, yeah. Yeah, that's when things are going our way, man. That's when we turn up the heat.
Dakin had a good day punting. That was good.
50 yards. And that's what I said. And remember when I said that he would do 50 yards plus for the season? He finally did it in the Nebraska game. Way to go, Reese. Way to make me look good. Way to make me look good.
We'll screw up our memories a little bit and say, I remember Dean said that he'd average 50 yards a punt in the final game.
Yeah, there we go.
That'll make it right. Exactly.
All righty. Okay. All righty. Mike says that's what Phil does. Lures them into a false sense of security in the first half and then stuffs them in the locker room in the second half. Stuffs them in a locker in the second half. There we go.
The only game he did not do that this year, make adjustments at halftime and shut them down, was unfortunately at USC. It was like,
I thought it was Oregon. I thought it was Oregon.
No, I don't think so.
Oregon was the game.
Oregon was Oregon.
Okay.
Yeah, we shut down Oregon.
Did you see the game that you kept yelling that he won't switch won't try to stop the run?
That was Oregon.
Okay.
So you were right in that way, but his scheme worked because we only gave up 18 points, and that included a safety, right?
Of course, I know Phil. He's probably saying, "Well, Calvin, you dumbass, when's the last time you coached?" He's gonna say, Calvin. He goes, the reason I didn't shut him down in the second half at USC because of their damn NFL quarterback and NFL wide receivers making circus catches. What am I supposed to do?
And then for a while last night, watching UCLA, USC. UCLA kind of had them on the ropes for a while, but USC undid that in a hurry.
Mike, what we were talking about was Oregon had 300 yards rushing in the game. That's what we were saying.
Well,
that's why Dean said that. We legit had 6 people in the box the whole game. Never adjusted, but it worked because they only gave up 18 points the whole damn game.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, the sad thing is we had the lead under 2 minutes to go in that game. I think it was 1 minute and 57 seconds or something.
yeah,
and we couldn't hold that lead.
that goes
we
back
had the
to
lead. We were going to win that freaking game, guys.
It's like
well, that
it's
goes
like
back to
it's
the
like my
pregame
it's
show.
like it's like my Chiefs have lost six games that were all within like 3 or 4 points. So I'm
the
really
Chiefs aren't going to the playoffs this year.
Well, they probably aren't. They're going to have to win at least 4 or 5 games in a row to finish the season. But I'm not standing here pounding the table saying get rid of Mahomes and Andy Reid yet. But
I wouldn't do that. I mean,
I'm just saying that a good team like Kansas City is losing all these close games, and Kansas City played the toughest schedule, in the NFL so far. Luckily, we got some easier teams.
I would bet Philadelphia plays a tougher one.
Of course, I thought Dallas was going to be an easier team on Thanksgiving, so that didn't work out either. So
okay, well, guys, let me ask you guys. I want you guys each give me one good takeaway from besides the win from the Nebraska game. Tell me something you saw in the game that just makes you feel good about the future of Hawkeye basketball and or not basketball, but football in our bowl game.
Well, I want to go back to what you said about it goes back to our pregame show with the Oregon game.
Mm-hmm.
Why our defensive ends don't just kill the quarterback on that damn zone read every time. The backside defensive end should just kill the quarterback. That's what got us that quarterback run. And then that crazy, I guess what got us was that crazy ball that went right over. Was it Hall or Lee? That crazy ball that got him in field goal range?
It wasn't Hall because Hall wasn't in the game.
Okay, you're talking about Oregon. Oregon game was Hall.
Yeah.
I was talking about Nebraska game.
I don't know if you're talking about Oregon or Nebraska.
Oregon.
Okay.
I said about the Oregon game.
No, I didn't. If I said Oregon, I didn't mean that. I meant Nebraska.
But Jason's talking about Oregon. It was T.J. Hall's shoulder pad that the ball whizzed.
The ball just went like that. So, I mean, I would have lost on plays just like that. But anyway, my takeaway is getting to see them throw the ball. What our pregame show, and I said I just pray they take advantage of Nebraska's secondary because they're not that good. And they did. They threw the ball down. They threw it. I wanted to see him throw a deep ball to Vanderzee. I would like to have seen it a couple more times, but the way it played out, they still threw it to Vanderzee over the middle when he got like a 25-yard reception over the middle. So they did. They took advantage, and Gronk, he had a good game throwing. What did he throw for 170 yards or something? I'm just grateful they took advantage of those,
something like that.
Of those short corners for Nebraska. And Vanderzee was man-to-man. He did his thing. That was a bad throw by Gronk. It would have been a touchdown if he threw it up, but he threw it where he threw it, and Vanderzee slid, and the ball went right into his elbow. That was the most amazing thing I've seen. So we got lucky on that, right? Just like Oregon got lucky against us on that one throw, we kind of got lucky on the one play. But, we still won the damn game, but seeing that catch was pretty amazing.
I think don't you think Vanderzee has proven in his short career that he ain't going to drop the ball?
Yeah, that's why I want to see him throw it up a little more often.
Yeah,
take advantage of him in the red zone, man.
Yeah, so maybe it ain't luck.
Yeah. I was just thinking.
I'm talking about the catch. I'm talking about the catch that the ball legit went right, kind of like the same thing with the Oregon play. The ball just went right under the Nebraska defender, right into his elbow. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Vanderzee has had a couple circus catches in back-to-back games, but I will tell you what, the fact that he did it a couple times means he's fully capable. I'm looking forward to see what he does next year. I think a lot of people think he's going to be lured into the transfer portal and forced to leave. I think one of the bright spots.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Oh, what do you mean? You can't just say that.
What do you mean?
Not forced. I didn't. Did I say forced? Lured.
Yeah,
lured into. I think a lot of people think that he's going to be lured into the transfer portal.
He's an Iowa guy. He's
I
not
know.
going in the transfer portal.
I know. I'm just
Name
telling you what
one.
people are saying. Why do
Who
you get
said
on me?
that
I'm just
crap?
the messenger. I'm just telling
No,
you
Well,
what
who
he
people
said
are
said
he
saying.
said the word forced.
Okay,
Well, it's
all
not
righty.
even that. I'm just talking about that's some crazy talk to even say it. No,
Mhm.
he's not going anywhere. He's an Iowa boy.
Okay.
And him and
Well,
Lutmer
yeah.
are like best friends. They're from the same hometown too.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I think
he's
one
not
of the
going.
things, yeah, one of
Can
my,
you name? Hold on. You brought this up. You got me fired up. Can you name an Iowa guy who actually transferred out of Iowa, who played, who knows he's going to start? Name me one player since the transfer portal opened that was going to come in and start that transfer. Can you name one?
Nestor?
He wasn't going to start. That's why
I can name one, but he was a complete whirlwind of a cesspool of an idiot as far as a brain. Well, Caden Proctor. He transferred in and then he transfers out.
Yeah, I don't count him because
he would have started, but
yeah, but I don't count him because he was never a Hawkeye.
Yeah, I was trying to pull somebody out of my head.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But
I don't even want to. I watched him play yesterday. Still can't pass block. So,
but he can catch the ball and run the ball. So no, nobody's going anywhere that's going to play next year for Iowa.
Okay, alrighty, okay. Mike says his takeaway overall from this team feels like they're right there. They just somehow need plays to go their way, and I don't think 10-2 in a playoff appearance is out of the question next year. Okay, Mike, be sure to come back to our show next week because I'm sure we'll cover that.
the thing I can't believe is Phil loses 8 starters on defense last year from last year's team. And he's going to lose 7 or 8 this year off this year's defensive team. And I'm not worried about the defense, for next year. It's like, and by the way,
I am worried about the O-line because we lose the entire O-line this year.
No, we don't. But we got the number one tackle in the nation is a guy named Lauk. He'll be back.
Yeah.
Pieper's one of the top guards. Pieper will be playing center next year, and I'm not worried about Leighton Jones. I'm not worried about the true freshman Allgaiers if he doesn't get hurt. Kirk's already said he's going to stop in. Doetzler was great as a backup tackle. I'm not worried about that as long as we stay healthy. Hey, my big takeaway was, and it surprised the hell out of me, the play that got the game that Rashad Godfrey played. Where the hell did he come from? Where the hell did he come from? That Harburg, the tight end they put in on Wildcat, he about knocked him into the hospital twice. I mean, he caused that fumble that on Harburg. Deshaun Lee come up and tea-kettled the guy, and then Godfrey put him in the hospital, and then the ball went into the end zone. Was it Brian Allen that jumped on it? So Godfrey was the guy that, I was just like, what the hell? Where'd he come from? Because he never played all year.
Was he playing for Hall this game or something?
No, he played for Cohen.
Cohen left the game because he got hurt. Yeah.
Cohen got hurt, so they moved Lutmer back and put Godfrey in at either corner, or I think he was at corner, and I think Watson's played cash.
Watson played corner. It's flip-flop. Watson played corner.
Well, it's like having 3 cornerbacks anyway. But
it's amazing. Cash, which is why Godfrey was right there. Godfrey was playing like a linebacker. He was playing the cash. He was on the strong side. And that's why he was there for that hit. But that hit surprised even the Nebraska player.
The one on the safety, I watched that again. The one on the safety where Lee hit the guy first, and then he come all the way from the other side of the field. Godfrey did on that play. It was ridiculous. It was like, is Lawrence Taylor playing defensive back for the Hawkeyes? And Kirk said after the game, he said, Godfrey turned it around this year because he finally lost weight. He was too heavy and slow. He was a big guy coming out of high school, like 6'1", 210 pounds as a safety, and they made him lose weight. So
he'll be starting at the Cash for the bowl game, I bet.
You don't think Cone will be back?
I think Hall will be back.
Well, yeah, but I don't know if they'll play Cohen if he got a concussion. I don't think he'll want to play the bowl game.
Ought to be good in a month.
Well, right, but I don't think he would want to. He's going to be in the NFL next year.
Cohen's one of the greatest Hawkeyes. That's why he's a captain, even though he never started. He will play. I can't think of any Hawkeye that won't play. Okay. I really can't. I don't know.
All right. Mike says Barnett earned some grace after this season. Not only that, but I said Barnett needs a raise because he turned that line around.
Good God, they were up for the damn Joe Moore Award last year. They actually gave up less sacks last year and averaged more yards per carry. They averaged more yards per carry last year.
I'm not doing any knocking on last year's team.
I'm talking about that guy, that whoever he was. He says this year Barnett deserves credit. Well, he deserved it last year. Okay. He had 5 guys that are NFL linemen on that O-line last year. Why didn't he say it last year? Is what I'm saying.
He might have. He might have.
But the guy said this year. In the comment, he said
words.
I listen to words and I have a hell of a good memory.
You're too literal. You're too literal.
Well, it sure helps when you're proving a point,
All right, so Vaname, I think he's really turning into a nice pass-catching tight end. He had 4 targets. He caught 3 for 91 yards. And we saw what he did with the ball a couple different times, winning on a couple different those catches. We already talked about Vanderzee. Dayton Howard should be doing pretty good. I don't know much about Zach Ortworth because we really haven't targeted him too much this year, guys.
He's not a pass-catching tight end. Benami's passing the ball.
And Ortworth his whole thing before was he wasn't one of our best blockers either.
But now he blocks. They use him in fullback.
Large is the pancake blocker, and he's really the only pancake blocker we have at tight end. Bert's getting better. This Thomas Myers ought to be a beast. In another year, hopefully. But
Ortworth, they literally, he's like Large's backup. Like he comes in and he played fullback when Large was out.
He was second string to Stringa coming into the season, but I just don't think he is 3 years at Iowa. I don't think he's really stepped up his game or he would play more.
Well, is Ostringa coming back next year? Good. Is Ostringa got eligibility next year?
Yeah, if his Achilles tendon, you never know about Achilles tendon breaks and surgery whether they'll come back all the way or not. But
alrighty, I was just kind of go ahead. No, go ahead, Jason. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say I just don't think anybody's going to pass Vanami. I think Vahami, however you pronounce his name. I just think he's going to be the man at tight end as far as pass catching.
Yeah,
he'll be our next NFL. He'll be our next NFL tight end. We actually have a pretty decent one as a freshman this year, waiting in the wings.
It was so cool. Vanami on his longest ones. They ran this cool little hook route where him and a wide receiver on the same side of the field. I can't remember who the other wide receiver was. But the other wide receiver, he cuts in. The other wide receiver glides in and takes a safety with him. And Vanami acts like he's going out to the sideline, and then he cuts down the sideline.
It was Vanderzee. They used 2 big bodies, so those DBs, they have to get around them.
Well,
they ran switch routes.
But the wide receiver made the defense select him deep, the wide receiver, because you don't have 2 deep guys on one side of the field, and then Vanami cut out and then cut up the sideline. I don't know if Gronk pumped it once or not. I don't know, but boy, that was a good one. And then the one that you got to give Gronk credit. You know, he's I don't know if he's in shotgun or what, but he goes back and here comes a frickin' blitz on the outside and just had Gronk dead to rights. And Gronk somehow with his feet did a little skip and the guy missed him. And here's Vanami wide open out in the flat because that's where the guy blitzed from. And then Vanami's running down the sideline. And Dayton Howard never misses the block, but if he'd have got his block on that, Vanami'd still been running. If he'd have pancaked this guy, Howard's a great blocker. If he'd have pancaked that, Vanami was like, and the Vanami family is like so overjoyed today. Oh my God!
So
the little boys in the family are saying, "Hey, I know somebody famous, and it's my brother."
No, I just wanted to say about that play. That really got me excited because we don't have a quarterback very often who's being chased like he was and able to find a receiver to get the ball to, you know, because usually we end up throwing it away. In this case, he was able to, as he was being chased out of bounds, he was able to get that ball to Vanami. And so
it was easy to find the receiver because there was nobody within 20 yards of him.
Yeah.
But the hard thing was escaping the pocket. How the hell he did that? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's that's why I give Gronk so many kudos and laurels for what he's done this year, you know?
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's done a pretty decent job. He's been a pretty fair guy.
The whole town of Carroll is fired up. Let's say that.
They put up the Vanamis put up a picture today. DJ's back at home, and it was a family picture. And you talk about a smiling picture. So looks like he's got about 3 brothers that are younger than him, and one that's older. But
yeah. So I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on YouTube, but I'm going to say it anyway. I just got a charge. I don't know if you guys heard Ferentz's interview with Dolph after the game Saturday, but I always listen to the post game before I listen to anybody else. And Dolph asked him what he was going to do this week, get ready for the bowl. He goes, probably get ready for a bowl game. He goes, I ain't doing shit. And he goes, pardon with my language, but I ain't doing shit. He goes, I need a break as much as those guys do.
And then he said, I ain't doing shit tomorrow. And he said 2 days after that, I ain't doing shit. Like that. And then what was funny in the pregame, Dolph, who he can get pretty boring rambling on, but he's in the middle of a sentence. He's going to say that this is the first game that Latif has played in the cold.
Vanami. Okay.
He said, Dolph says, this is the first game that Latif is going to play in the cold. But before he got in the cold, he goes, this is the first game that Latif is going to play. And Anger jumps in and he goes, against real man.
I like that.
I love Pat Anger. When you're playing Iowa's defense, you're playing real man. You know?
I gotta love Anger. I mean, you know, he's starting to get comfortable on the radio, and he's starting to say some things, you know, that you would expect Pat Anger to say. So, guys, I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna look it up while we're talking. If you guys want to continue to talk, I'm gonna look for the actual pronunciation of his name, and I got it right here.
Chris just told us.
I always say Vanami, but I mean, I'm probably wrong. I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, I've had to do this 2 or 3 times. I don't want to, because his mother is a member of this, watches this YouTube off and on, and I want to make sure that we do this right for her.
Yeah. Anyway, if you want us to keep talking, you look it up. But the PFF scores come out, and Gronowski's the highest PFF score for an Iowa quarterback since 2019 or 18. He had like
19.
an 80.
Yeah.
2000. He had an 80.
You're right.
80.
18. It was 18. You're right.
I don't know, but
right.
anyway, it was like an 86. Vanami, was it Vanami or Vanderzee? Even got higher scores than him, like 88 and 89. And they go, when's the last time a wide receiver, scored that high? And the other high scorers on the offense were, of course, offensive linemen. We had like 3 offensive linemen at 80, and the other ones were in the high 80s. Dunker had a real high. The worst scoring offensive lineman was Logan Jones for some reason.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna say real quick. Vandy's saying he used to rent from Vanami, but his pronunciation is different than what the official University of Iowa's pronunciation is. Vanami.
Vanami. Yeah. I think that's
you
way
guys
anybody
can't hear that
would.
because it's my ears. Yeah. Vanami. Vanami.
I think that's
Vanami.
Vanami. That's the way anybody would pronounce it by the way it's spelled. It's got an H in it.
Yeah, that's how I'm doing it. Yeah, Vanami, but I even typed it out for everybody to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
And then on PFF scores on defense, of course, the highest rated defensive player was the surprise of the game, Godfrey. And Godfrey and I think Lutmer was second. Shire was the highest linebacker.
He usually is.
And defensive linemen, they were just kind of average scores, but probably didn't get. I don't know if we got any sacks. I don't know.
Jason, who was it that toward the middle of the game or something, you said something about somebody just ended their career. Their career was over.
That was
he thought it was targeting.
To me, that was targeting, but they didn't call it targeting. So it was the targeting play that to me,
I wondered if that's why you were saying that, because he would be out for the rest of the game, but he could come back to the bowl game.
Yeah, he wouldn't be able to play in the bowl game.
Yeah, they just have to sit out the half, don't they?
No, they got to sit out. Well, you're right. He would have to sit out the first half. He would have to sit out the last half against Nebraska and the first half against the bowl game, whoever that is.
The interesting thing about it, they showed replays and still pictures. Actually, the Nebraska punt returner grabbed his face mask and pulled his head down. I didn't notice that at all, but today they were showing it on the On3 thing.
Yeah, I have to look at that. I mean, because he hit him with the crown of his helmet into the returner.
Kind of a glancing blow on his face mask, but and then the crown of the helmet is only a 6-inch square on the very top of the helmet. So it's anyway, it is what it is. I thought if they would have called that targeting, I thought it'd been a very shady call myself, but I'm biased.
I didn't think it was targeting. And one of the other key elements that wasn't there, it wasn't a defenseless person, because he,
Yeah, but you can't spear somebody. Anyway, that's what I saw. To me, it was like even the announcers were saying. I was agreeing with the announcers. It's literally the technical version of targeting by the rule. So
I do know. Yeah, I do know in our group chat while it was going on, I was the first one to say that is not targeting after I saw the replay. But you know what? My opinion don't count because they don't listen to me anyway.
Yeah, most Iowa fans said it wasn't targeting.
I didn't think it. When Jason said his career is over like that, my response was, because I didn't think it was targeting, and I go, yeah, in about 10 years, because I think he's going to play at least in make an NFL roster and play for quite a while too. But anyway, great athlete Shire is. He just didn't have no experience, and it is harder than hell. There ain't very many Jay Higgins that can step in without playing, and play like that. So anyway.
So, guys, I know we've been going on for a while.
I hope so.
Okay, guys, let's talk about who you guys would feel like are your players of the game. You can go ahead, Jason. Go first.
Well, to me, it's Gronk. I just think he played his best game. It was his last game, unfortunately. But other than the bowl game, I'm sure he won't play the whole bowl game. But they'll want Hecklinski to get some experience, I'm sure. But yeah, to me, it's Gronk. He played a hell of a game. He was accurate on his throws. What they hit 4? Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but they hit 4 big plays in the passing game, which is over 25 yards or 20 yards. Maybe it's 20 yards that they count as a big play. And he hit 4 of them in the passing game. And he was on target. There was times that we seen him roll out and throw at the receiver's feet, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He hit Benami perfect.
Yeah. Weren't all 3 of Benami's over 25 yards?
I think so, because he got 91 and 3 catches. So I think so.
Yeah.
He might have had one that wasn't, but he hit Vanderzee on 2. That went 20-some yards. He hit Vanderzee on the across the middle play. That was 20. Because Vanderzee, did he have 2 or 3 catches for his – he got, 60 yards?
2.
2?
Yeah.
2 catches for 60 yards?
Yeah.
So
I thought Benami had 91 yards on 3 catches.
Yeah,
he did. He did, and he had 65 yards after catch. So that's I love that stat. That's a fantastic stat.
It's great when you catch a ball and you don't have anybody for 15 yards around. The only guy in front of you has Dayton Howard blocking him. What a dream!
Well, he split 2 defenders on the touchdown.
Yep.
He broke tackles. Well, actually, on that one with Howard, he broke 2 tackles too, but he had like 4 guys around him. Like Howard had one, but then he had to cut inside and the guy behind him, and he had 2 guys coming at this direction. So even on that one, he broke a couple tackles. He had 4 guys around him by the time he got to Howard, downfield. He had one right behind him. Howard was pushing one out of bounds. Then he had 2 coming from the side.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You got a player of the game, dude? Kelvin?
I think the most valuable player for Iowa is that Latif guy. I put in a messenger and I put in on 3 and they thought that was so fucking what a great line on the Swarm page. I go, he's like Deacon Hill on Ozempic. I never seen anybody throw the ball so bad. Oh my God. I was glad he was playing. But for an Iowa MVP, an actual Iowa player, that was a joke. It's hard to pick. I love Gronowski. What a game, and I love Godfrey. But I guess I have to agree. I guess I have to agree with Jason because Gronowski was just. That was like what a leader, what a player, what an executioner, and
yeah.
So
it just like right now this is a what if season. What if on those 4 losses? What if this? What if that? We came so close to being 12-0 this year. But
you can say, but you can also say, what if Gronk wasn't hurt coming in? Right, he didn't get any play until it was basically almost game time. Right, he got some in fall camp coming into the season, but that's pretty much all he got. They have to have a quarterback coming in that has that's the second year in the system, so they know the damn playbook. Even Gronk admits to not knowing the whole playbook, but we just keep having this 1-year deal. So I'm hoping,
I think having Hecklinski next year being our starting quarterback should take care of that issue.
Yeah, I think because Lester loves the dude. I'm sure they're going to check the portal see what they can get though. Which it is what it is. I hope they go after a receiver, but I could see him going to try to get some quarterback. I don't know who they'd go after.
As far as on the portal already, you can tell who position coaches at Iowa and Tyler Barnes, they contact these people on Twitter. I don't have Twitter, so I can't follow it, but they have contacted several really good wide receivers and several defensive linemen. That's what they've contacted so far, in the portal. And every time I watch that Marsh guy for Michigan State and his coach just leaves, I'm always saying, give him $2 million. Take him on the others. I'll have him and Howard and Vander Zee on my team as my 30 wide receivers any day of the week,
All right. Okay. I'm going to go with my player of the game. Of course, it is Gronk. He did have I feel like his best game as a Hawkeye. And somebody on Facebook said, and he finally learned how to pass. Well, I think he always knew how to pass. He just.
He's completed 65% of his passes, and that's including the ones he throws into the dirt and the drop passes.
Right.
Right. So, if he overthrows sometime, which makes you throw it right into the ground, he's overthrowing. So, maybe.
Yeah. So, also
yesterday was actually his lowest completion percentage in a long time.
He completed 9 passes for 170 yards.
166 according to my
166 yards on 9 completions.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a day for
four big plays.
Yeah.
Okay. So guys, okay, I'm going to ask each one of you what your play of the game is. I could have picked a couple of different ones, but I'm going to go with the safety because that safety just seemed to deflate Nebraska and just fired us up. I think we ended up getting the ball back in really good field position to score again. So
that was
where I'm at on that one.
I'll go with Vander Zee's one-handed catch. I know the game was probably over already by then, but I don't remember. But that was just like incredible. You never see the ball was just this tight spiral thrown by a quarterback that looked like he could play in the NFL, and then it looked like an NFL wide receiver catching it for us. So that's my play of the game.
Kind of looked like USC against our DBs.
Or Oregon. Remember all them catches Rutgers made against us too?
Oh, in the first half, before
we my God
adjusted. My favorite play is the switch route to 81 on his touchdown. That's my favorite play when he went up the sideline, like how they switched.
Mm-hmm.
They had Vander Zee and him switching. I absolutely love the design of that play and the way the Nebraska defenders just ran into each other because both receivers are so big. But the turning point in the game was the safety. That whole sequence in this game, the Nebraska sideline, I'm going to guess, just went dead. Because he fumbled the one before that, and then they got their another chance, right? So they said, okay, re-kick it. Mm-hmm. And then he fumbled it again and got it safe. So the first fumble was like, oh, God. And then like, okay, well, at least we got that. And then he fumbled again, and then we got a safety. I guarantee you those kids were like, this is not going to be good. Yeah. And after that, I would.
Yeah. And then the fumble on the goal line that Godfrey and Watson and Lee tea-kettled him. That was the end of the game, really, right?
Yeah.
That ended the game. Who was going to win, right?
Yeah.
Nebraska was going to cut into our lead.
Yeah.
And they got nothing.
They got nothing.
That end of the game.
Love that.
The safety, pretty much made the momentum go 100% Iowa's way. But that fumble ended the game.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And there's one thing I was just thinking about. How deflated do you think Nebraska is, after getting blown out 2 weeks in a row, first by Penn State last week and then us. And
I think just like the fans, they're like, geez, we really do have a curse. How do we get this curse broken?
Yeah.
Because there's something like, I don't feel like they have a good head coach. They have an average head coach. He had one great year at Baylor, and then he took, some small teams, Temple. He boosted off of Temple, went to Baylor, had one good year. And it's always the third year, so this was supposed to be Nebraska's year. But his game day coaching, that's why I love Kirk. Yeah. Kirk is one of the best game day coaches in the country, and it's not even close. Like some people say, if you watch CBS Sports, those guys, they always say, give Kirk Alabama's players and see what happens. His game day coaching is just spot on. But I know the fans don't like it, and Dean don't like it because you think he's playing – because you think he's playing to lose, which is the strangest thing in my mind.
I don't say that play to not lose. Play to not lose. There's a difference.
However you say it, I don't understand that logic.
There's a difference. It means that you've got the lead, and we're not going to do anything stupid, and so we're not going to play aggressive anymore. So we're just going to run the ball 3 times and punt. Run the ball 3 times and punt.
But that's not what they do. So that doesn't make sense. They don't run a 3-ball. Even under Brian, they didn't do that. There's a reason why Stanley threw the most passes in the history of Iowa football. They don't do that. But
Brian
Chuck Long did.
Brian Ferentz as far as attempts. Brian Ferentz, like his first 4 years at Iowa, threw the ball at a higher percentage than any other OC. I don't care if you're talking about Hayden, Bill Snyder, Carl Jackson, Ken O'Keefe. And Ken O'Keefe threw the ball a lot, It was like a pass happy, maybe a little too pass happy at times,
Kirk would say it was too pass happy. Hey, we would too. Remember the Northwestern game?
I don't know. Kirk never put a stop to it until 2020.
Yeah,
when we threw away 2 games, it was like, what the are you doing?
But
we want to. Yeah, we need to mention too that. Gronowski also for rushing yards, now holds the record at Iowa for a quarterback rushing, which honestly, I would have thought that the yards he broke would have been Brad Banks. I did not know it was 2 different people. Ed Podolak and who was the other one? I can't remember.
He passed 3 guys in that last game. Yeah. And one is one of the I always say who's the top 5 greatest quarterbacks of all time, and I always say, well, Kenny Payne and Randy Duncan
was one of them. Yeah.
Kenny Payne was the guy who was number 1, and Ed Podolak and Wilburn Hollis, the guy that broke his ankle for Jerry Burns.
Yeah.
Was the other guy.
That's just amazing because, as much as Brad Banks run the ball, because he ran it an awful lot, even on design plays. And I did not know that he wasn't even in the top.
I don't even remember Brad Banks running it a lot.
He really did. I believe he only rushed for 500 yards that season, but most of them were on pass plays where he scrambled out.
Well, 500 yards, Jason, is more than Gronk got this year.
No,
Gronk is at 491.
Oh, I thought Gronk had 500. Well, then how many?
Banks might have 500 in his career because he did come in and run them gadget plays that first year, which was brilliant, But
let me look.
But Gronk got 491, and anyway. Gronk's got another game going, and of course his 15 touchdowns. I think he's 2 away from the Big Ten record of Denard Robinson's had 15 rushing touchdowns, had 17 rushing touchdowns in a season for that dumbass Rodriguez coach at Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, Rich Rod.
I got the 500. Okay, so maybe it was 300 and some for Brad Banks. But they didn't run him a lot. That was my point. because they didn't run him a lot, but he got first downs running the football on pass plays.
That could be. That could be. That could be.
And then that dumb color commentator who's talking about Gronk yesterday, and he goes, well, he really don't have very good speed. And I commented on the on-3 thing. I said, that color guy's dumb. I said, Raymond Braithwaite said that in the 40, Gronk outruns any linebacker we have or any tight end. So he runs a he runs a 4.5 or something, because I know there's 2 linebackers at Iowa that ran 4.48s coming into college. They probably don't now because they probably gained weight, so.
Reese?
No, Reese is not one of our fast linebackers. It's Buffington ran a 4.48, and Goucher, who's a true freshman, ran a 4.45. But again, they probably put weight on since then, which might slow them down. But
okay, guys, this doesn't make sense to me.
Guy. Reese is a guy that can vertical leap over top of a building. He can lift 700 pounds. That's why they call him a freak.
Guys, this doesn't make sense to me. Brad Banks is listed as 574 yards rushing. That could be a career and not.
That's where I got it. That's his career. That's where I got it.
Okay, all right. Ed Polak, 1,710 yards rushing as a quarterback.
What? No, Ed Podolak played running back his last year at Iowa. Ed Podolak actually ran for 287 yards in one game against Northwestern as a senior, but he was a running back.
Okay, but he also passed for 2,316 yards.
Yeah, he was a quarterback for 2 years, and then they moved Larry Lawrence, who played quarterback in the NFL, become the quarterback Podolak's senior year, and Podolak moved to running back, and he probably ran for 700 and some yards his senior year at Iowa. But
yeah, okay. I just wanted to check it all out. Most of our quarterbacks have minus yardage, although CJ Beathard got 429 yards.
And Chuck Long had over 1,000 yards rushing at Iowa, but then when you took out his sacks, he had negative yards. Yeah. Chuck Long. But.
Okay, here's our new coach, guys. Mark Stoops officially fired at Kentucky 5 minutes ago.
Does not surprise me. I remember when 2 years ago, people wanted him to be one of the guys to replace Kirk. They wanted Jay Norvell and Mike Stoops and the 2 coaches in Kansas. They were like Leopold and the other guy. It was like, time kind of is the cure for all that.
Yeah. Hank, it's good to see you back, buddy. Good to see you back. I'm going to read what Hank has to say real quick, and then you can talk. Should we run with Helinski next year or get another QB in the portal?
Helinski would never stand the beating that Gronk took.
That's not what he's saying. That's not how he's wording it. He's just saying, should we, instead of getting a quarterback in the portal,
should we go with him? Yeah, should we go with him?
That's how he's wording it.
I thought he said, should we run him?
Well, that's what I mean by you taking everything literal. I mean, that's what he said, but he's saying
somebody should learn how to use the English language better. Should Hecklinski be our quarterback next year? Could have been. But no. Should we run Hecklinski next year?
It's how people talk, Kelvin. That's how we talk.
Kelvin.
Yeah, my dad explained that to me a long time ago. One thing about Stoops, in his contract, Kentucky has 29 days to give him $50-some million now. How you like that?
I think we should, because Lester loves him for a reason. They won't have a whole lot of designed runs for him, but he's quicker than Gronk. Quicker, you'll see him move.
Yeah, he's a human joystick, jumping around. But I'm just saying he's like Sullivan. If if he plays in the Big Ten and decides to run very much, he's not going to make it through the season.
No,
Way to go, Hink. Way to go, Hink. Do you want to know what he said?
What?
He said, "I'm sorry, I'm a 25-year-old speaking."
Okay. Back to the hood, kid.
Apparently, the Stoops is 60 days to pay for 37 million. Don't be chasing our commenters off by insulting them.
I just like to make Jason laugh. You know, everybody.
Hank, don't take me personally.
Everybody in the bar was wasted. You know, so we'll call Hank Shabuzi from now on.
He used to be a regular quite often, and then he disappeared for a while. I'm glad to see him back tonight.
I know T Hink, and me and him. If T Hink don't show up on the on that one podcast,
Corey's?
No, T Hink comes on Corey's some, but the one had Josh on it, and now it has what's his name? And T Hink helps that guy out because he's by himself, and you don't have anybody. What's it called? Hawkeye
Voice
Wire.
Of college football. Voice of college football. That's what he's telling you. He's telling you. He's telling you it's Voice of college football.
That's Corey. Oh yeah, it's Voice of College Football. That guy works for is under Corey and that other guy. But if T Hink don't come on, and T Hink's really good, he comes on and streams like we do right now by calling in. And T Hink is very informative, and I love listening to him. But when T Hink don't show up, once in a while I'll pop up on screen, and I'll say, I'm just trying to help you out tonight. And the guys will say, "Thank you, Kelvin. We don't like doing." It's just one guy.
Zach Heine.
There you go, and a very nice young man.
T Hink, do you actually get? Does he actually get on the video, or is he just commenting?
Yeah, he puts up the link on screen, and you can click on it and come on.
Oh, I did not know that.
I did that
once on Corey's show. I did that out once on Corey's show, but I was getting double feedback. So I just said, "Hey, I'm getting double feedback. I don't know how to fix it, so I'm going to say what I need to say and get off."
you know me. I don't even like being on podcasts or anything, but I felt sorry for that Josh guy early in the season. He was all by himself, and he had to just talk. And
Zach, his name is Zach.
No, this was the guy before him, Josh Elmers. Or something. Anyway, so I clicked on the link and went on, and he knew who I was by all my comments on the internet and everything. Kelvin, how's my buddy doing? And I went on for a while and helped. I said, I just come on because you're trying to carry the show by yourself. And he says, I really appreciate it. And that was
Josh Helmers. Was he on the show with him before together?
They were on together for a short time. Josh is actually an Oklahoma person, and they just needed a guy to do this. And then Zach Heine is his name, come on to take Josh's spot, so they'd have more of an Iowa guy. And Zach, they're both the nicest young men. And I only go on there because I don't like being on this stuff, really. You know.
I've only started watching him. I don't know anything about Josh because I was watching it only with Zach.
Yeah, but T Hink's really good coming on with information and everything, and he's not crazy.
Josh does radio. Okay.
Yeah.
All righty. Yeah, I don't know what Zach does on the side besides his podcast.
Josh had me sending him everything that I send you guys. Because he was an Oklahoma guy and he wanted it. So I sent it to him all the time and he really appreciated it.
You mean he was a Hawkeye living in Oklahoma, right? He was a Hawkeye.
No, he's an Oklahoma Sooner fan.
And yet we used him for the Hawkeye show. That's great.
We didn't, but he's he did a good job. You know, he actually he did a better job than a lot of Hawkeye podcasters did because he just stuck with the facts. You know, he went off kilter. Him and Zach did when they lost Iowa State a little bit, but that was reasonable, you know.
Okay, Zach works for Hawkeye Wire for the USA Today.
Yep.
and Josh loves the Sooners. Oh, good. I'm getting some history on this. So alrighty, I have enjoyed Zach's shows. I have watched his podcast, and
I
so
think
I've enjoyed them.
they're on every third Wednesday or Thursday night, something like that. And I got it. So it's an instant notification when he's on, and I listen to it when I can.
Yeah. Speaking of that, people, hit that subscribe button right in front of you right now if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button and click that little bell so you can be notified right away when we're coming on. I do try to send out everything to you guys to let you know when we're coming on different pages, different Facebook Messenger. But please smash that subscribe button and the little bell at the same time.
Does T. Hink have like some MVP or some big play that he once mentioned? Or
yeah. By the way, the show's Thursday at 11. Hink, what was your favorite play of the game on Saturday, and who would your player of the game be? Shoot, if he doesn't mind getting on, I could sometime when we're short down people, I could bring him on the show if he wants to come on. Hink, are you open to that? Yeah. Bring you on the show, send you the link. Okay. Well, I know that somebody over there is probably really watching his Broncos really close. So how are they doing right now?
I'm not. I'm actually looking for Preston Reese's track stats.
Oh, okay.
It's halftime, and the Broncos are 13-6 or 13-7.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, you aren't gonna find much Reese track stuff. But he's the all-time leading scorer. Well, maybe not. Like in basketball in the state of Iowa, he's the all-time total yardage person in football.
But anybody would have watched our live pregame show. Somebody who commented who knows him really well would not say how they know him really well, but it was actually a woman's face on there, but lives in the same town as he does, and just said, all I'll say is he's a good guy. But
he's a farm boy. And I know a lot of people who know him. I worked up to Monticello, by Monticello at J&P Cycles for a long time. So I have a lot of friends that know him,
Is Monticello toward Iowa City area? I'm kind of lost.
No, it's north of Anamosa. It's probably 40 miles straight north of Iowa City, kind of.
Okay,
between Cedar Rapids and Dubuque on 151.
Yeah, okay. Got it. I got it. Yeah. So Hink liked the RVZ catch from Mark, which I think a lot of us did. That was just crazy. He really liked the play call with DJ and RVZ. I think
that's the switch route that they ran.
Yeah, that's the one you were talking about.
Yeah. I agree, Hank.
Okay. Yeah. Alrighty. As we get close to wrapping this thing up. Okay. Let's see. What do we got?
You got to tell us our game picks, how bad we did.
Yeah, I'm going to. Kind of a rush call to get the two defenders to run into each other. So that was done intentionally, I guess, the way that's written. Alrighty, guys. Do you want to know how well you did? Do you? Because you probably already know.
I have no clue. I know I wanted Navy to win, but I picked Memphis. I know I missed that game.
Yeah. So we did 11 games because we added Northwestern at Illinois. Unfortunately, I forgot to get Paul's pick, so I gave him a loss because we forgot to give it to him. But Paul still won the week at 9-2.
Cool. Mr. Navy.
Jaden is 8-3. You were 6-5, and I was 7-4. I foolishly picked Wisconsin. Paul and I both did. I was the only one to pick Vandy.
Jason picked Wisconsin, I think. I thought you put up the big W or something. But.
Kelvin was the only one to pick Minnesota. If I wrote Wisconsin down for Jason and he didn't want it, that's my bad.
No, I thought I picked W. I was fighting with my own brain. Remember, I kept going back and forth because I loved the way Wisconsin was playing. So maybe I did because I was going back and forth.
You did.
I thought I went with Minnesota.
Hank, in case you didn't know, Paul's working tonight. That's why he's not with us tonight, but he's still a member of this show.
I know. I picked Northwestern, so I missed that one for sure.
I as well picked Northwestern, and I lost that game. I lost the Pitt game because I picked Pitt. Darn Pitt, anyway.
Me too.
Kelvin picked Memphis and lost that one. We all got Ole Miss right. Like I said, I'm the only one to pick Vandy. So,
I picked South Carolina because I wanted Clemson to lose, of course.
Yeah, and I'm the only one to pick Georgia Tech, and I lost that. So
now Clemson has to lose their bowl game, please.
Why? I mean, why is it with you and Clemson? Why are you trying to get them to lose?
I explain it every podcast. They had to win their last 3 games to get to 8 wins. And Iowa, Alabama, Ohio State, and Georgia are the only teams for 11 years in a row that have won 8 games or an approximation of 8. The people that keep it say that Iowa's 6-2 record in COVID year is better than an 8-4 record, of course. So they give Kirk, leeway there. If he played 4 more games, all he'd have to do is win half of them. And we had a hell of a team that year in the COVID year.
We did. We got 2 games canceled on us, so otherwise we'd have got to 8 wins.
Clemson has been in that group for 10 years. And this year, what were they, 5-6 or something? And they had to win their last 3 or 4 games in a row. And by God, they've won 3 of them in a row. It pisses me off.
Okay.
I like Iowa to be on a Mount Rushmore by themselves because I'm an Iowa fan.
Okay. All right. How do you guys feel about the Snake Lane Giffen? I guess we mentioned it, but we didn't really talk about it. Anybody want to talk about that? And I guess he got a $90 million contract. No wonder.
His past record was bad at jobs like this, but I'd forgiven him since he went to Florida International, where the hell ever he went. Florida Atlantic it was, I think. He took over that and did a really good job, and he's been at Mississippi for a long time. And it doesn't bother me that he went to LSU, because LSU is one of the top recruiting-based money deals, period. It just bothers me that he's bitching about not being able to coach Mississippi in the playoffs. If you want to coach Mississippi in the playoffs, you better stay the Mississippi coach, young man.
Teams in the Mountain West playoffs.
I mean, you said it, Hank. He's a snake. It's just greed. I don't understand why he would. I mean, I guess you do, but because he's thinking now I'm going to get championships, where at Ole Miss he could fall off next year, and be like 9-3 or 8-4. But going to LSU, he's going to get the top, recruits. He'll be up there with Alabama, and Georgia.
Hey, Jason, I got a question. How come they don't want Vanderbilt to go to the playoffs? Haven't they only lost 2 games?
Yeah, it's name recognition.
Because everybody's saying we're playing Vanderbilt.
I would like that. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I think Vanderbilt's a hell of a team.
No, I know.
Yeah. I've already predicted that.
I just think Vandy's QB. I told you guys from the very start how great Pavia was. He needs the Heisman. If he doesn't get the Heisman, that's just criminal.
And they got this hybrid tight end guy that looks like a basketball player. He's like 6'7" or something.
Yep.
But
those are the 2 guys I told.
I just think they're getting screwed. How does an SEC team with only 2 losses not make the playoffs?
Because it's Vanderbilt.
Who the hell did they lose to? They lost to Texas. Who else?
They lost to Texas and Alabama.
Okay, big deal. Alabama lost to Florida State.
Okay. Vandy says Iowa ain't want any of Vanderbilt.
Sure.
Well, here's what. We're not going to go there because if Vanderbilt don't make the playoffs, they're the first team chosen by the former, whatever it's called now. I guess it's called the Citrus Bowl by Cheez-Its. Cheez-It Citrus Bowl. They'll be the first team from the SEC to be picked there, and Michigan will be the first Big Ten team to go there. So it's going to be Vanderbilt versus Michigan if Vanderbilt don't make the playoffs.
It doesn't work like
the
that.
Media, it doesn't work like that. Already read the article by Tom Kakert that the SEC picks them, and the SEC wants a game between Texas and Michigan in that bowl, and Vanderbilt is going to play Iowa at Tampa. And I believe, like Kirk says, I want to win as many games as I can, go to the best bowl I can go to, and play the best team I can play. And I think Vanderbilt is the best team.
So SEC chooses where they go in the matchups.
The SEC controls. It's weird. The Big Ten don't.
So do they control who they pick for the Big Ten team?
The Big Ten conference just kind of says, the teams and the bowls can agree, but we like to stay to a finishing pecking order. The only time the Big Ten ever changes is like if Iowa went to the same damn bowl 5 times in a row and played Tennessee 4 times in a row, they'll let Iowa go someplace else. But that's the way that it was explained by a very reputable writer. Okay. That the SEC is so controlling.
Yeah, I know. They always get their baby way. Guys, hold up for a second.
Texas pulls a whole lot more weight, as Vandy knows. Texas pulls a whole lot more weight in that conference than Vanderbilt does.
Okay, all right.
And it's not fair.
Vandy says Vanderbilt will be selected for a New Year's Six Bowl, full stop. Okay, I thought the New Year's Six Bowls were now part of the playoff system. Am I wrong?
They are.
Okay, so saying that means he thinks they're going to a playoff then.
I hope so, because they deserve to go to a playoff.
I hope so too, but they're not going to a playoff.
Alrighty. They're wanting to know if you guys...
They're not going to a playoff.
Okay, what they want to know here is if a 9-3 Alabama loses in the SEC championship game, will they be in the playoffs? Vandy says he thinks they will be.
They'll be 10-3 though. They're 10-2 right now.
Alabama?
Alabama's 10-2. I don't.
Then why are they saying 9-3?
Well, that's what he's saying. I'm telling you right now.
The bowl selection committee has said that results of the Big Ten and SEC championship games, because the conferences are both so good, will not affect whether you go to the playoffs or not.
Okay. So that's one of the last things I want to do here. Yes, Alabama will be in the playoffs, but they will not be punished.
Vanderbilt beat Alabama. Did Vanderbilt beat Alabama?
No. That's one of Vanderbilt's losses.
Okay, they beat Alabama last year.
They lost to Alabama and they lost to Texas. That's it.
Tink says no. Okay. Alrighty, guys. We got to slowly wrap this up. We're about to set a record for being on air so long. I mean, I'm glad that we got a lot of participation going on and everything. But I wanted to finish up by going over the championship bowl games this weekend. And since we're probably not going to do a show the rest of this week, I wanted you guys to pick the winners in each of these championship games, if you don't mind. And you guys right along at home watching, go ahead and leave your comments on who you think will win the game.
Okay, go ahead, Dean.
Okay, Ohio State versus Indiana. Who do you got?
Oh boy. I'm going for a sub 500 record this week. But I'm going to go with Ohio State Buckeyes.
Jason, who do you got?
I got Ohio State. I had Ohio State at the beginning of the year, going undefeated all the way. No one's beaten Ohio State in my mind.
Yeah. Here's what I'm doing. Because it's at Lucas Oil Field, wherever they call that place in Indiana, I'm going to take the Hoosiers at home. Basically, they're at home cooking.
Yep.
You could lose it. You could lose this game and win the national championship.
Yeah. Well, Ohio State knows that.
Ohio State finished 4th in the Big Ten last year
and won the national championship.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Vandy says the bigger question is, will the ACC get a team in if Duke wins the ACC championship? By rules, it's the 5 highest ranked conference champions, which means that would be James Madison over Duke. Yeah. That's crazy that Duke somehow got in with 5 losses in their title game. Is that just saying how balanced the ACC is, or how bad they are?
They're bad.
They're bad. Who did you pick? Did you pick Indiana, Dean?
Yes, I picked Indiana.
Okay.
Texas Tech versus BYU. I've got Tech all the way.
Tech.
Okay. Virginia versus Duke. Virginia.
I'm gonna go with Duke.
Are you really? Okay.
Yeah,
Virginia.
I like their coach. Diaz. Could be the next Penn. Could be the next Penn. Could be the next Penn State coach.
Jason, did you pick one?
Yeah, Virginia.
Virginia. Okay. All righty. Vandy says Virginia, but I think he wants Duke to win. Okay. That's the ACC game, right? Yeah. Yep.
How about the SEC or something?
Okay, SEC's next. Georgia versus Bama. This is a tough one. God, this is tough.
I'm gonna go Georgia by more than 7 points.
I got Bama.
I didn't think Bama looked very good against Auburn. I didn't think they looked very good against Auburn, but
they did.
Who won earlier when Bama and Georgia
Iowa lost to Iowa State, and then only lost by last second field goal to Oregon.
Yeah,
that's a rival game. I don't even count those
guys.
games.
Who won the game when they met earlier this year?
Bama.
Alabama by a good margin, didn't it?
That was way back in like week 5 or something, like beginning of the year.
Okay. So I'm going to pick Georgia as well. It's hard to beat a team twice in one season unless they're really bad. Okay, Conference USA, Jackson State versus Kennesaw State, I think it's called.
Jesus God.
I know. I don't know a darn thing about these teams.
I'm going
picking
with
Jackson State.
I'm going with Kennesaw because I love what's going on there. They're so proud of what they're doing this year. I'm gonna go Jackson State because I think that's where Walter Payton's from, and numerous other Hall of Famers. Yeah, I was gonna say there's a lot of them.
And I'm not gonna go with Kennesaw because I'm afraid of saws.
There you go. All righty.
They're black and yellow. Hey, I just thought of that. I'm going with them because they're black and yellow.
There you go. All righty. Boise State in the Mountain West versus UNLV.
Yeah.
I'll go with UNLV because I didn't like the way Boise State played the other day.
So you're going with UNLV.
I guess. I don't know nothing about them.
I don't either. Most of these games we won't know anything about. So
I'll just be glad when we have a 2014 playoff and there'll be no conference championship games.
Okay, so I'm picking Boise State in this game only because it's my cousin's favorite team and he went to school there, and so I'm gonna do him a solid and pick it for him. And
I'm going with
UNLV. Name your score. I love it. All right, what do you got?
I'm going with UNLV as well because I love their offense. They have a great running back.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be able to run the ball a lot.
They're the running Rebels.
Oh yeah, they're the running Rebels.
When they run the ball,
they have one of the best running backs in the country.
Yeah. Well, not only are they running Rebels.
If Boise State was called Girlsy State, I'd pick them.
Yeah. You guys remember when they dominated college basketball with Jerry, what's his name, who cheated?
Jerry Tarkanian, yep.
Yeah.
Mr.
Had all
Towel.
that big gambling money behind him. All
A
righty.
lot of Nike money.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're getting down here, guys. We only got 3 more games to pick. Western Michigan versus Miami of Ohio in the MAC. I know nothing about these teams.
Western Michigan.
That's who I picked. I picked Western Michigan myself.
I'm taking the other team. Who was it? Miami, Ohio?
Yeah.
Used to be the cradle of coaches. Don James and Bo Schembechler, and all of them came from Miami, Ohio. Woody Hayes. So,
all righty. AAC. I think it's American Athletic Conference is what it's actually named. North Texas versus Tulane. I'm going to take North Texas.
North Texas. Is their coach going to coach it? Is their coach going to coach it?
Who did he go? Where did he go?
He went to Oklahoma State. Jason says he's taking the quarterback with him. I don't know if he is or not.
I think he is.
Mm-hmm.
I think he will. Obviously that's just.
I just don't know if that coach is going to coach in this game or not. But if he is, I want North Texas State in a blowout.
Oh no, Tulane's good. I think it's going to be a great game. I think the final score is going to be 49-45 or some shit.
Oh, a good defensive game.
Yeah.
I love
the hitting.
Okay. North Texas, Drew Mastamaker is the best name you have ever heard of. And yes, Morris is coaching the playoffs that they are in.
Yes, I'm going to go with North Texas as well, but he just said the name. That's a walk-on. He didn't even start in high school.
I'll guarantee you that one thing. If we gave him $2 million, he came to Iowa, Hecklinski wouldn't see the field.
Yeah.
Is North Texas the one where Coach McCartney from Iowa State coached for a couple of years?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I think it used to be called North Texas State. That's where Hayden was at.
Yeah. Okay.
And Joe Green.
Dan McCartney went there and couldn't even do anything. He couldn't get them to win 4 games.
You remember when he brought the team up here to Iowa City and we just crushed them? And it felt so bad for Coach.
I didn't.
Alrighty.
His mom went to high school with my dad at Mechanicsville, Iowa.
Yeah. Okay. Finally, the Sun Belt Conference. Here we go. Southern Mississippi versus James Madison. I got James Madison.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to roll with James Madison too.
I'm going to go to the father of our Constitution, the smallest president in the history of the United States at 4'11", 89 pounds, James Madison.
Was he really that small? Wow, dang.
Yep. When they ask who the tallest president is, it's Abe Lincoln. When they say who is the heaviest president, it was William Howard Taft, who got stuck in the White House bathtub. And the smallest U.S. president, which is the one that most people don't know, but I remember everything I read, James Madison, who was the father of our Constitution.
Did he write it? Because I thought Thomas Jefferson.
We had to vote on our Constitution, but he wrote that preamble in order to form a more perfect union.
Okay.
Shows
you how much I know. I thought Thomas Jefferson was the author of that.
Thomas Jefferson was the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah.
Domestic tranquility and.
Okay. One of the signers of the Declaration of Independence is Charles Carroll of Carrollton Town. I'm related to him distantly, a long time ago, obviously, because that was a while ago. He was the last one to be alive. He's the last one of the signers to die.
And I've said this on the podcast before. My most famous ancestor, the Declaration of Independence. He was a secretary for George Washington. That's his handwriting on the 3 original copies of the Declaration of Independence. He formed Penn University, which isn't that where Fran McCaffrey is now, the Ivy League school? Mm-hmm. And he also wrote the Constitution for the state of Pennsylvania. But the thing I am most proud of is he started the abolitionists. He was a Quaker, and he started the abolitionist movement in the United States, which was to free black people. And the Quakers kicked him out of the church because that was against their religion to have free people,
Yeah.
God, wasn't our country stupid, Oh.
Well, Abraham Lincoln got it right. Okay. Okay. One little thing before we leave, because no, just like you mentioned it when you mentioned Fan McCaffrey and Penn. Anybody know how his team is doing this year?
I can look it up. I haven't been paying attention because I'm just so excited about what Iowa's doing.
I don't really care.
I do want to say, like, people don't about the women. I was wanting to say this when he brought it up, but Feuerbach is doing her job. Mm-hmm. She's the new Gabby Marshall. Like, her job is defense. It's not the score. Mm-hmm. So when she has games like she did today, those are just bonus points.
Yeah.
She's not expected to shoot unless she gets hot, just like Gabby Marshall.
Yeah. Well, I think with Chit Chat and Emily being out, they're picking up the score. Some of the other girls are picking up the scoring. Addie Deal, Feuerbach, trying to think who else has picked up the scoring.
It's pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
That's on the floor. If you're missing two people, somebody's got to do the scoring. Journey Houston scores quite a few points per minute played.
Yeah. Now, you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? The way that game started out in the first quarter, I didn't think we'd ever get to 80 points, but we got to 86. That's crazy.
The opposing team, Fairfield, they missed their first 8 3-pointers, and we were ahead 5-0 for the longest time, and then boom, Fairfield decided to score like 12, 13 points in a row or whatever.
Yeah, it was when I first turned it on, we were behind 8-5, so I didn't know about that first part.
Penn is 5-3.
Oh, okay.
They're 4-1 at home. They just got spanked by Hofstra today, though.
Oh, that's a mighty Hofstra team.
So are they averaging 80 points a game like he did at Iowa? No defense?
Dean wanted to speed up the podcast like 30 minutes ago.
They're averaging 85 points a game?
Yeah. And giving up?
Giving up?
83?
Take 595 and divide it by 8. 595 divided by 8. That's how many points they get.
Oh, that'd be like 4 points. No, it'd be over 70. 73 points.
Okay.
Because 8 times 70 is 560. So.
All right.
What'd you get, Dean?
I couldn't get to my calculator. I forgot I have to voice it over, and I can't find it. It's not on my screen. For whatever reason, iPhone decided to hide my calculator.
It's pretty simple. 8 times 70 is 560. And then you have another. Yeah, I said around 73.
Yeah.
So they average 85, give up 74. They're 5-3.
They're probably playing
a typical Iowa team.
Okay. Well, they're probably not playing a Power 4 schedule.
Well, no, but he has better athletes at Iowa than he does.
Guys. Yeah.
Maybe.
This is not going to be the smoothest ending, but we've been on for 2 hours and 24 minutes. I think we've set a new record for how long we've been on the podcast.
Even had history class.
I even had a history class.
I'm going to ask you guys next week about James Madison, and as my students, you should be able to remember it.
It's already gone.
Yeah.
I just want to know. I just want to know if James Madison's going to run at quarterback next year for Iowa.
Gosh, I hope not. Alrighty.
He's dead, so he's dead. So his 40 time is terrible.
Unless he does it as a ghost and he can run through people. Okay, guys, thanks for participating tonight. It's been an interesting show tonight. One of our longest ones on record. If you guys made it this far, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit that little bell with it. That will give you instant, I'll let you know instantly when we go live. Also, like the content. Make sure you hit the like button. It's also there in front of you. And by all means, share it. And you can share it to whoever you want to, but it is time to get out of here. So go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.